Okay, so what are Zodiac expeditions? So Zodiac expeditions are when you go on those little boats and you explore either the water. So you have Zodiac expedition where you explore the water, and then you have Zodiac landings where you are actually stepping foot on land. You are exploring a penguin colony, or you are exploring the sea lives that are there, the walrus or the fur seal. Those are some things. So when you step foot on land, that would be a Zodiac landing. And then when you are exploring the waters for whale watching, orcas, penguins in the water, those will be the Zodiac safaris. And each one is unique. Each one is experienced by itself, and I truly enjoyed it. So again, I talked about how to dress for your Zodiac landings. You want to make sure that you have on some high socks. They are going to give you boots. So when you are with a expedition cruise line, they're going to give you a parka jacket, which is nice and thick. And of course, it's going to be a bright color or their designated color. And that's for safety reasons, so they can see you from a distance or whatever. So you want to make sure you have on some bright color, and they're going to give you boots that reach up to your knee. That because some of the Zodiac expeditions that you're going to go on, you're going to step in water. So you don't want nothing that's going to be at your ankle, because when you step in water, the water is going to come in and the water is freezing, y'all. I had a situation where we went to one of our Zodiac landings, and as soon as I stepped in the water, my entire boot started to fill up with water. So apparently my boot had a hole in it or something. So they had to finish unloading everybody else and take me back to the ship. I had to get new boots. They had to toss those boots or whatever they want to do with them. And then I had to go back to my room to get more socks because it was freezing, y'all. But just to let you know, you're going to need some tall thermal socks for your Zodiac landing. And then when you are going to, prior to your Zodiac expedition, they do have a mandatory Zodiac briefing for you, which is pretty cool because it goes over the safety precautions. It goes over how to make sure you do your sailor's grip when you are coming in and out of the boat. It shows you how to make sure you are, scooting down to balance out the weight. So it's pretty cool. So what are some things that you can expect from your Zodiac landings? So again, your Zodiac landings or your Zodiac safaris, you're going to be in a little boat, and one of those blow up boats. Your Zodiacs hold about 10 people. Then you have your guide. That's the one that's directing and driving your Zodiac. And basically, again, when you do Zodiac safari, sailing on the boat around the water, going through different ice to see the different wildlife that's there. And they take you also on land. So they're pretty safe. And if there's anything that were to happen, they do have safety protocols in place. So we had one of our situations where we ran into a leopard seal, and the leopard seal was so curious about our Zodiac and was nibbling at the Zodiac. Not our particular one, but one of the other Zodiacs. He ended up punching a hole through the Zodiac. So the Zodiac started to lose air. And of course, immediately when that took place, they called for assistance. And then we had another Zodiac boat that was there immediately. You're not too far from the ship, any of the Zodiac landings that you do. So if anything were to happen or any emergency situation that were to take place, they have something in place immediately to assist you with that. So I'll show you a little quick video of this little leopard seal. But yeah, it was interesting. Of course, my kids got a whole kick out of that a leopard seal was there trying to nibble on our boats. And good thing they didn't punch our boat, but somebody else was not so lucky about that. But that's the experience of Antarctica. And like I said, it's important for you to research those expedition cruises that you're going on so that you know their safety precautions or protocol in the event of things like this were to happen. So how many times do you get to step foot on land? When you choose to do a expedition cruise to Antarctica, the one that we went on was a 9-10 day expedition. And for those 9-10 days expedition, 5 of those days we were in Antarctica. And the goal was to do 2 Zodiac expedition each day, which would be a total of 10. Now, one thing you have to remember and be flexible about when going to Antarctica is everything is based on the weather, okay? Everything is based on the weather, and safety is always going to be first. So on our particular Zodiac, we were scheduled to have 10 different Zodiac landings. Now, our first Zodiac landing was planned for Deception Island, but because the weather was not the best and the safest, we had to skip the Deception Island and we went to Nico Island first. Now, the experience there was equally amazing, and I appreciate the captain and the crew members. They gave us like a breakdown of what Deception Island was and what we could have saw there, but we were okay knowing that they have our safety at forefront to make sure that we were good. And you know what? If we missed that, they made it up. And we saw so much other stuff that we didn't even bother us. Okay, so what are some other things that you can do while in Antarctica? So besides cruising to Antarctica, enjoying the wildlife that's there when you go to your Zodiac expeditions, a lot of people are asking, well, what else could I do while in Antarctica? So when you're in Antarctica, there's several things you can do. Besides doing your Zodiac safaris, you can do kayaking. I've seen a lot of people on our expedition cruise, they were kayaking. You can do paddleboarding, and you can even do camping as well. Now, the only thing about all of this is everything is based on weather. So for our particular ship, we did not get to do camping. We signed up to camp. So basically what it is the captain and the expedition crews, they see which landing is the safest and the fittest for us to set up camp. And you're basically digging, they go out prior and they dig holes in the sand for you and kind of set up tent and give you a sleeping bag for you to sleep out in the open in Antarctica for a night. But unfortunately, on our sailing, the weather was not the best. It was not favorable. It was not safe. So they had to cancel the camping. And of course, you pay for your camping prior. So if you have to cancel it, you are going to get a refund. So you don't have to worry about that. So you can do the Zodiac safaris, you can do kayaking, you can do paddleboarding, you can do camping out. And of course, you can't go to Antarctica and not do the polar plunge. So yes, the polar plunge was amazing. Okay, one thing to note about Antarctica is Antarctica can be unpredictable. So when you decide to do a cruise to Antarctica, I want you to know that, you know what, things can happen. Your itinerary might say, you know what, you're going to be exploring for 5 days. And unfortunately, of those 5 days, you weren't able to do one of those expedition cruises or those Zodiac safaris. And it's very important that you understand that when going into a territory like this, that you have to be flexible and you have to understand that what you paid for, yes, you may pay for 10 Zodiac landings, but sometimes you might just get 9. You might just get 8. Right? So you have to be flexible and have that mindset in mind that, I haven't read about any other Zodiacs or expedition where they didn't get to do any of their things. You know, I'm pretty sure there's stuff out there that's because things happen, right? But I haven't read that. Luckily, we only missed one of ours and we were able to truly enjoy everything. But the key thing is you have to be flexible. So what can you expect from a expedition cruise line? First thing first is set your expectations from the beginning. Expedition cruise line is not like a traditional cruise line. You're not going to have all the games and activities going on. You're not going to have these huge water slides on that you would find on the traditional cruise line. You're not going to find a Lido deck. It's not a traditional cruise line. So it's very important that you set your expectations from the beginning, right? What you are going to find is they do have entertainment on board. So the entertainment that we experience while on board, they have trivia night, they have performance from the crew night. They had game night. They had all kinds of different dance and things that you can participate, and you can even create your own thing. They have the regular buffet like you would have on a traditional mainline cruises. You have y'all. This is the part that my husband you had unlimited liquor on there. Now, the premium liquor is going to cost you a bit more. So make sure when you ordering something, you're not getting premium liquor, because my husband ordered some premium liquor. It was a shot glass like this small, and it was like $20. But it was fine. But just make sure you're ordering the traditional regular alcohol beverage that's there. And if you order anything premium, just know you got to pay for it ahead of time. Just that. But like I said, just because it's not the traditional mainline cruise ship, that doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself. We bought our 3 kids and they had a great time. They had so much entertainment on the TV that you can choose from. In addition to that, because we had our kids and because we did our research prior and know that it wasn't a traditional cruise line, you have to also know your kids and what they can handle. So for our kids, we bought different card games for them. They had regular Uno. They had Uno Flip. Y'all, I didn't even know Uno had so many different types. Uno is not sponsoring this video, but I just had to say that. But they had so many different types of Uno. My kids are into cooking and crafts. They watch different crafts. I brought their journals. They journal each day. They love the wildlife. So while we were sailing to Antarctica and going through, we had the Drake Lake going, and then we had a taste of the Drake Shake going. So when we were coming to Antarctica, we experienced the Drake Lake. They saw so many birds. So we did a game where they called out the different birds. And one of the things I love about the expedition cruises, they have briefings every single day. So these briefings or lectures, they basically give you information prior to what you're going to see. So the day before, you can go to a briefing or a lecture, and it talks about the different birds that you're going to see, the different icebergs they're going to see. I didn't even know that there were like different kinds of icebergs and they have different names based on the shapes. So my kids got a kick out of identifying the different types of icebergs. And one of the things that they loved about that is because they started to see the different types of iceberg, they started to realize that, hey, we are getting closer and closer to Antarctica. And it even sparked their curiosity and excitement so much more. And then in addition to that, we started to pick out the different birds that we saw flying through the Drake Passage. So this experience was truly amazing for them.